Some time ago, Elon Musk made a move to buy Twitter. Suddenly, he went mute. Everyone has been expecting his next move, but it seems he's not continuing with that particular move again. Celebrity gossip brings us the news of Elon Musk's deal with Twitter and whether or not he's continuing with the purchase. Is Elon Musk going to cancel the $44 billion Twitter deal? Recently, Elon Musk has made it clear to the public that he's putting his $44 billion takeover deal of Twitter temporarily on hold, saying that he wants more details about how many of the social media platform's accounts are fake or spam. The shock announcement sent the company's shares tumbling as investors questioned whether Musk might back out altogether. The Tesla and SpaceX boss said he needs to make sure fake accounts do indeed represent less than 5% of Twitter's users, as the company has estimated. He wants to sanitize the Twitter space. Musk tweeted about putting the massive deal on Twitter on hold Friday, sharing a recent Reuters news story. He later added a reply stating, "Still committed to acquisition." The Reuters article cited a securities filing Twitter made shortly after the company reached a deal to sell to Musk, stating that of the 229 million Twitter users who saw advertising in their first quarter of 2022, less than 5% were fake accounts. Twitter declined to comment. On Friday afternoon, CEO Parag Agrawal tweeted that he expects the deal to close, but added, "We need to be prepared for all scenarios and always do what's right for Twitter." As expected, with Elon's announcement that the purchase of Twitter was on hold, the shares dropped drastically. For the very first time ever, Twitter shares sank more than 9% on Friday, to their lowest level since Musk first disclosed that he'd become Twitter's largest individual shareholder in early April. The drop came as tech stocks have been battered on Wall Street amid a broader sell-off. Shares in Tesla, which account for the bulk of Musk's wealth, had lost nearly 30% of their value in the last month as of Thursday's close. On Friday, Tesla stock rose. By the way, Musk is relying on his Tesla stake to help fund his $21 billion portion of the Twitter deal by selling some shares and borrowing against others. He's also brought in other investors including Oracle founder Larry Ellison, the venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, and Qatar's sovereign wealth fund to help finance the purchase. The combination of the wider market drop and Tesla's decline would naturally give an individual like Musk cold feet, said Angelo Zeno, analyst at the CFRA Research. Though it's not clear that Musk could or simply would walk away from the deal, his agreement with Twitter includes a $1 billion breakup fee if he backs out, with few exceptions. At this point, I don't think backing out is an option. Elon is not known to chicken out easily. Generally speaking, people don't sign merger agreements so that they can walk away from them. They sign merger agreements so that they can do deals, said Donna Hitcherich, a professor at Columbia Business School. According to Zeno, Musk could be using the question over fake accounts as an excuse to cut his offer price of $54.20 a share. He's giving himself more options and giving himself more leverage, he said. It appears like he's paying more than he needs to pay for this deal. The 5% figure Musk flagged comes from Twitter's first quarter earnings report, which it released days after reaching the deal to sell the company. Musk has made it clear that he plans to get rid of spam and automated bots on Twitter as part of his vision for improving the company. The question of fake Twitter accounts has to do with how the company tracks the number of monetizable daily active usage of users, essentially the accounts it shows ads to when people or organizations access Twitter on any given day. The company works to detect and suspend false or spam accounts and to omit them from its calculations of monetizable active users. The question now is, does spam account or fake account still exist on Twitter? But Twitter also acknowledged in its filings that fake and spam accounts still do exist on the platform. It added, "Our estimation of false or spam accounts may not accurately represent the actual number of such accounts, and the actual number of false or spam accounts could be higher than what we estimated." So Musk is right after all. In its earnings report, Twitter said it brought in $1.2 billion in revenue, including $1.11 billion in ad revenue, a sharp rise from the same period in 2021. But its costs and expenses rose at an even sharper rate to $1.33 billion, resulting in an operating loss of $128 million. Everyone wants to know exactly the impact of this delay. We would remember that Twitter announced the deal to sell Musk on April 25th, saying he would take the company private by paying $54.20 per share in cash after a whirlwind courtship between the billionaire and the social media platform. The company said it expects to complete the transaction sometime in 2022. During his Friday update, Musk didn't provide any further details about putting the deal on hold, leaving it open to interpretation as to how he might postpone or delay the massive purchase. The seriousness of the matter is also an open question, as Musk often uses Twitter to air spontaneous thoughts alongside his concrete plans. Before he tweeted about the Twitter buy, for instance, Musk's previous message demanded "Stop the war on straws." That habit has gotten him into trouble before. In 2018, the Securities and Exchange Commission fined Musk over a tweet in which he claimed to have secured funding to take Tesla private, which it turned out was not the case, according to a ruling from a judge. Earlier this week, Musk said that once he completes the deal, he would reverse Twitter's permanent ban on former President Donald Trump. He called the ban a morally bad decision, to be clear, and foolish in the extreme. Fresh questions over whether Musk will end up owning Twitter will add to the upheaval inside the company. On Thursday, Agrawal announced a hiring freeze and spending cuts. He also said top 2 executives were leaving, adding to concerns among other employees of a wider exodus ahead of Musk's takeover. On Friday, the CEO tweeted that the moves were aimed at building a stronger Twitter. He added, "I won't use the deal as an excuse to avoid making important decisions for the health of the company, nor will any leader at Twitter. There's a significant amount of uncertainty and chaos being thrown at Twitter at this moment in time," said Zeno, the CFRA analyst. "You have to wonder if you're an investor today," he continued, "what kind of Twitter are you going to have if Elon Musk does ultimately walk away from this?" Before now, in 2020, Musk had a net worth of $27 billion. By the year's end, his net worth had increased by $150 billion, largely driven by the ownership of around 20% of Tesla stock. During this, Musk's net worth was often volatile. For example, it dropped $16.3 billion in September, the largest single-day plunge in the history of the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. In November of that year, Musk passed Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg to become the 3rd richest person in the world. A week later, he passed Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates to become the 2nd richest. In January 2021, Musk, with a net worth of $185 billion, surpassed Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to become the richest person in the world. Bezos reclaimed the top spot the following month. On September 27, 2021, Forbes announced that Musk had a net worth of over $200 billion and was the richest person in the world after the Tesla stock surged. In November 2021, Musk became the first person with a net worth of over $300 billion. Around 3/4 of Musk's wealth derives from Tesla. Musk does not receive a salary from Tesla. He agreed in 2018 to a compensation plan with the board that ties his personal earnings to Tesla's valuation and revenue. The deal stipulated that Musk only receives the compensation if Tesla reaches certain market values. It was the largest such deal ever done between a CEO and board. In the first award, given in May 2020, he was eligible to purchase 1.69 million Tesla shares, about 1% of the company, at below market prices, which was worth $800 million. So you see, sealing the deal with Twitter is going to be a big plus. It really looks like Elon Musk is using the Twitter fake accounts issue to beat down the price. Well, we'll soon know what his plan is exactly, so for more interesting videos, like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.